Now at noon, a stabbing in northwest Portland sends 2 people to the hospital, one with very serious injuries. The suspect still in a standoff with police as neighbors are told to shelter in place. Plus,
this was a deliberate act of violence against innocent children and other people worshiping.
2 children are dead and more than a dozen other people are hurt after a gunman barricades the doors of a Catholic school church in Minneapolis and opens fire on the kids inside. What we know so far about the shooter and his victims. In Salem, 2 separate shootings overnight leave 2 people dead. We'll have the latest on both investigations. And later, U.S. Labor Secretary
will come to Portland, Oregon, and crack down.
U.S. Labor Secretary Lurie Chavez-DeRemer calls on the Trump administration to crack down on Portland. What that means and what else the former Oregon Congresswoman told the president, coming up on KGW News at noon. And we begin with breaking news here at noon. Police activate their special emergency reaction team after a stabbing in northwest Portland near 18th and Johnson. Thanks for joining us. I'm Drew Carney. Portland police tell us 2 people were rushed to the hospital, one of them in critical condition. KGW's Thomas Schultz joins us live from the scene of the stabbing. So Thomas, what else do we know this afternoon?
Well, Drew, police told us that suspect has barricaded himself inside his home. People in this area of northwest Portland have also been told to shelter in place. I want to show you some security camera footage one of our photographers got this morning, which appears to show the suspect begin to comply with police orders to surrender, but then change his mind and go back inside his home. This standoff started around 9 this morning. One man told us he heard screaming near northwest Johnson and 18th. Police tell us 2 people were stabbed. One is in critical condition. It's unclear who those people are. Now, as for the suspect, Portland police say they'll take their time making an arrest.
Suspect fled from the scene. We determined that the suspect entered a home in the area of 18th and Gleason. It is our understanding that this home belongs to our suspect, so I want to make it clear he is not, to our belief, inside the home of a stranger. He is in his own home.
Now, I want to show you a shot we have of SWAT teams near northwest Irving and 18th right now here in northwest Portland. You can see a significant police presence mulling around, and for the past half hour, we've heard police through a loudspeaker telling the suspect to come up with his hands up. It's still unclear what led up to this stabbing around 3 hours ago at this point. Though many people that we've spoken to who live around this area, neighbors, say that they're shocked something like this happened in this area this morning. Drew?
All right, Thomas Schultz with this developing story for us this afternoon in northwest Portland. In other breaking news, police confirm that 2 children, ages 8 and 10, are dead and at least 17 other people are hurt after a mass shooting at a Catholic school church in Minneapolis. It happened just after 8:30 this morning as students from the school were attending a special mass. Police say the 23-year-old gunman barricaded the church's doors and then opened fire with a rifle. They say he shot through the church windows directly at children sitting in the pews. Investigators say the shooter then killed himself. The chief of Minneapolis police said this attack was absolutely deliberate.
Our hearts are broken for the families who have lost their children, for these young lives that are now fighting to recover, and for our entire community that has been so deeply traumatized by this senseless attack.
At least 1 adult and 6 children are still in critical condition at local hospitals. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and the mayor of Minneapolis both told people there to stand by the victims of the families. In developing news this afternoon, Salem police are investigating 2 separate shootings that left 2 men dead. The first one happened just after midnight near 40th Place and Carson Drive Southeast. Officers responding to a crash found a 30-year-old man with multiple gunshot wounds. He later died at Salem Health. Carson Drive is closed between 40th Place and Coolidge Drive while this investigation continues. About an hour after that shooting, police were called to Wallace Marine Park in Salem after reports of gunfire at a homeless camp. They found a 60-year-old man who was critically injured. He later died at the hospital. Police say these 2 cases appear unrelated and they haven't released the names of the victims. We're going to take a quick break from the news headlines here to check in with Rod Hill in the Weather Center. Rod, you've got the forecast for the rest of the day.
I do, and I've just been looking at stuff and going through a number of models, and everything I look at that's matching what's going on right now. I mean, not all models match what's currently happening, so you look for the ones that are. And those models simply keep this periphery of showers kind of arcing around Portland, but Portland's dry and in the middle with no precipitation. So I would say our odds are increasing that we will simply stay dry this afternoon. I can't guarantee there won't be any showers. I can't guarantee there won't even be a thunder shower. I'm just telling you that the odds are favoring partly to mostly sunny afternoon. What you're looking at here is everything kind of rotating around a weak area of low pressure. And sometimes you see this, where everything kind of just forms on the outer periphery of stuff. We've seen some more thunderstorms in the past hour down around Bend. We saw some thunderstorms down around Eugene and even Sweet Home, but that activity in the last 10 minutes has all fizzled out. And here's a closer look at the radar. Pretty much just dry in Portland. A few traces of rain in Salem, but overall kind of partly sunny to hazy and dry for you folks as well. It is warm, it is humid outside. 77 degrees is the current temperature at noon in Portland, and Salem, I'm sorry. And here's mostly sunny skies over the Rose City, 76. Humidity, 56%, the dew point 59. When we get dew points near 60, that's when we're kind of sticky out. So I think we'll have that. So again, we'll continue a shower chance, but if I had outdoor plans this afternoon, I would feel pretty good here in Portland that the forecast is increasingly favoring just dry weather. 86 at 4 o'clock, 81 at 8 o'clock. We'll look back at the thunderstorm activity we had this morning, and also there is a red flag warning for high fire danger. We'll talk about that coming up as well, Drew.
All right, Rob, we'll see you here in just a few minutes. Back to our local news headlines this afternoon. Portland police arrested 3 people after a stabbing near Multnomah County's Central Library downtown. It happened on Monday as the victim was leaving the library. Here's KGW's Alma McCarty with more.
Your Honor, the next matter on the docket is page 32, line 2, last of Nicholas.
Tuesday afternoon, the 3 suspects appeared before a Multnomah County judge for their alleged role in an assault outside the Central Library.
This was an attack by 3 individuals on a complete stranger in the middle of the day in broad daylight in public.
Portland police say the 44-year-old victim had just left the library and noticed a disturbance between a group of people. According to court documents, he yelled over in an attempt to stop it.
And he tried to intervene, and that's when the suspects turned their attention to him. He was stabbed several times, and 2 others with skateboards assaulted him with the skateboards.
Those suspects, PPB says, then ran off, taking TriMet from Southwest Yamhill and 10th over to Holiday Park, where officers found them.
We're asking anyone who has not spoken with police about this case, who might have witnessed something, to reach out to us.
As investigators continue their work and the victim recovers from non-life-threatening injuries, those in the area have lingering questions.
It's unsettling, especially since I'm outdoors a lot.
James Ross saw the crime tape Monday evening.
I walked up and the police were there and they were just announcing that there was no more danger, but they wouldn't quite spill what happened.
Other patrons like Lejeune Thorson, president of the Downtown Neighborhood Association, says despite incidents such as this, the Central Library is still the place she'd prefer her association to meet.
We've seen more security, whether it was because we requested it or not, I'm not quite sure, but I feel safe right now.
Library officials confirming the additional patrols, along with round-the-clock camera monitoring, more cleaning outside, and decreased exterior Wi-Fi.
It takes regular people out and about, eyeballs on the street. That's how we're all safer.
Again, that was Alma McCarty reporting for us this afternoon. In other local headlines, a man is headed to jail for nearly 6 years after shooting someone with a dart. So this security video shows what happened last July at a Mac stop in East Portland. 40-year-old Joseph Nass, dressed in dark clothes there at the top of your screen, uses a slingshot to shoot the man in the white tank top in the back with a dart. That other angle right there shows the dart as it hit him in the back. The victim suffered a collapsed lung. Police say these two didn't know each other, but they also said the victim broke up a fight between Nass and his partner earlier that week. A math teacher at a Salem middle school resigned after he was charged with several counts of criminal mistreatment. Reese Sorensen is his name. He was also charged with child abuse. He taught at Parish Middle School and is accused of physically harming 2 of his own children and withholding food from them. The Salem Reporter broke the story and reported that the 2 children are actually 6-week-old babies. A new homeless shelter is set to open next week in Northwest Portland, despite significant pushback from people who live in that neighborhood. The shelter will open next Tuesday at Northwest 14th and Northrop with 40 beds to start, after expanding to 100 beds after a month, and then there's the potential for even more beds down the line. This will also be a low barrier facility. That means people who stay there don't have to be sober. The shelter is part of Mayor Keith Wilson's plan to end unsheltered homelessness in the city by the end of the year.
Your working family's under attack. What do? Stand up, fight back.
Vancouver's Evergreen School District and the union representing some of its workers are expected to continue negotiating today after the workers went on strike yesterday. The union members say they're fighting for a new contract that offers better pay and more standard schedules, among other things. The district says it's offering paraeducators a 4.5% pay increase and bus drivers a 3.5% increase. The first day for Evergreen schools was supposed to be yesterday, but the district delayed the start of the school year until next Tuesday while these negotiations continue.